Good day, fellow bettors. Thank you for joining me for another video for your English Premier League betting tips and predictions. Today I'll be sharing with you my predictions and tips on the match result, correct scoreline prediction, as well as anytime goal scores, which is based upon availability here on Betway. And also, I'll be sharing with you the number of goals expected in a particular game based on the predicted scoreline. That is also, I will be giving you a bet on the handicap system, and pretty much that's what I'll be doing in this video here today for you. All right. For this here game week, we're going to start on Wednesday, and we're going to move from Wednesday all the way to Monday of next week. And as you can see here, we have a number of teams that will be having more than one game for this particular game week, and so therefore teams such as Arsenal and Liverpool. And so therefore we're just going to jump straight into it, and we're going to start here on Wednesday. We have two games, and we're going to start with Arsenal versus Everton. And for Arsenal versus Everton, I'm expecting Arsenal to continue their winning ways here, and still I'm expecting Arsenal to win. Everton to still be in a tough spot, I do believe. So Arsenal to beat Everton here, and both teams to score. So in terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Arsenal wins this one 3-1. In terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and I'll take Arsenal to win this one by a goal. Anytime goal scores here now, folks. For me, we're going to go through Arsenal full scores. So we have Saka, you have Trossard. If he starts and gets enough time, then he can score for you, as well as Nketiah and Gabriel Martinelli, as well as Martin Odegaard. Those guys can score for you as well. Also, in terms of on the Everton side of the football, now you have Mope, he can score for you as well as Dwight McNeil and Alex Iwobi. Those guys are guys that you have to look out for, as well as they have a couple of defenders who pop up from time to time and could score, such as Jeremina and James Tarkowski. But for me, my in-time goal score is going to come from Arsenal. I'm going to take my in-time goal score to be Edward Nketiah. So I'm going to go with Edward Nketiah here. And so let's just go ahead and give a quick recap here for Arsenal versus Everton. I'm expecting Arsenal to win this one at $1.33. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, that should be the case. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 victory here for Arsenal over Everton, and that's $11 in terms of the odds. Now on the handicap system, I'm going to take Arsenal to win by a goal, and my anytime goal score to be Edward Nketiah. Alright, so those are my predictions for Arsenal versus Everton, and now we're going to move on to Liverpool versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool, they're in a bad spot, in a tricky spot. They're not where they used to be over the past decade. They haven't been languishing in this in these parts of the table themselves. And Chelsea, they're in a tough spot, and so therefore I'm expecting them to pull themselves together here. Versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, not going to be easy though. But for Liverpool versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, I'm expecting here now this one to end in a draw. So I'm expecting both teams to score as well. And in terms of my scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 1-1 draw between Liverpool and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Not going to have a bet for you on the handicap system. I'm just going to go straight to my anytime goal scores. Darwin Núñez out in the next game with the last game with an injury concern. So I'm going to look at Mo Salah. You have to look at Firmino. He has been really good at home all season for Liverpool, and so therefore Firmino, you have to look out for him being at home here, as well as Gakpo. Doesn't score much. Doesn't look like he's going to score much this season, and as well as Diego Jota, he's back. He started the last game, which is good. And so those are guys that you have to look out for Liverpool. Now, for Wolverhampton Wanderers, you have Raúl Jimenez. He started the last game. I think he's due some goals, and he's getting there. So you have to look out for Raúl Jimenez, Ruben Neves, as well as Mateus Cunha and Pablo Sarriba. So you have to look out for that guy. I don't think Pedro Neto will start, and I don't think he's going to get much time. So those are the guys that you have to look out for to score for you. But for me, I'm going to go with Mohamed Salah. Outside of Mohamed Salah, I would have gone with Roberto Firmino, especially if he starts. And so therefore, that's what I would take in. Alright, so my predictions here for Liverpool versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'm expecting this game to end in a draw. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of car scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 1-1 draw here. and that's $8. And in terms of my anytime goal scorer, I'm going to go with Mohamed Salah to be my anytime goal scorer in this particular game. All right. So now we're going to move on over to our next game, and our next game will be Manchester City versus Newcastle United. And for Manchester City versus Newcastle United, this one being here at the Etihad, I'm expecting here both teams to come out and give this one a fair crack. Manchester City is trying to secure their points to ensure that Arsenal don't get too far away from them. And so therefore, I'm expecting this one to be another closely keenly contested one, and I'm going to take a draw here for this one too. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a double chance, I go, not a double chance, I should say. I would say we should have a draw here, and that's a 1-1 draw. If you want to take a double chance, I go with a draw and under 4.5 goals. Alright, I would take that too. Anytime goal scores, we don't have any folks available here, so I'm not going to be able to give you my anytime goal scores for this particular game. But the usual guys you have to look out for in this game to score for you at any given point. In terms of Manchester City, you're going to have Haaland, you're going to have Kevin De Bruyne, if he plays. He was injured the last game, as well as Riyad Mahrez and Julian Alvarez. For Newcastle, you have Callum Wilson, you have Isak, you have Saint Maximin. Looks really good, but as usual tends to do a little bit too much some of the time, so he doesn't score as much, and so therefore he might not score. But for me here, I'm going to go ahead and let's just say those are the guys that you have to look out for. So quick recap now for Manchester City versus Newcastle United. I'm going to go here and give you a draw for this game, and I'm expecting both teams to score as well. We should have, in terms of my current scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 1-1 draw here between Manchester City and Newcastle United. In terms of a double chance, I go ahead and take a draw and under 4.5 goals in total. Alright, so those are my predictions for Manchester City versus Newcastle United, and now we're going to move on over to Arsenal versus Bournemouth. And for Arsenal versus Bournemouth, I'm expecting Arsenal versus Bournemouth to be a nice one, and so therefore Arsenal have to be very careful. Games coming thick and fast here. We're gonna have to try and ensure that they don't lose any of these games. And so for Arsenal versus Bournemouth, Arsenal, I'm gonna take Arsenal to win this one again. So Arsenal to win and both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Arsenal wins this one 2-0. Not expecting a lot of goals from this game, to be honest with you. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a Arsenal winning by a goal here. Alright, based on my predicted scoreline. So let's just roll up and give you a quick recap here now, folks. For Arsenal versus Bournemouth, I'm expecting Arsenal to win at $1.20. Both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, you could go with either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Arsenal over Bournemouth, and that's $5.75. Alright, in terms of the odds on the handicap system, I'm going to take Arsenal to win this one by a goal, and that's $1.65. Alright, so now let's move on from this game and move on to our next game, which is Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. And for Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, I'm expecting this one to be a closely contested one. I think it's going to be a little bit unpredictable in a sense, and so therefore I have to be very keen and look out for the draw here. But I'm going to go with how Aston Villa have been finding goals nowadays and how they've been playing. I'm going to favor Aston Villa to win here. Aston Villa to win, both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Aston Villa wins this one 3-1. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Aston Villa to win by a goal here. Alright, so quick recap for this game. As I say, we don't have any anytime goal scorers available here, so I can't give you them because I don't have the odds. Alright, so right then, so for this game, I'm expecting Aston Villa to win at $1.95. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. And in terms of a double chance, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Aston Villa over Crystal Palace, and that's $15 in terms of the odds. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw here. Not a draw, I'm going to go ahead and take Aston Villa to win by a goal, and that's $3.80. Alright, so for me, let's move on to our next game, and our next game here will be Brighton versus West Ham United. And for Brighton versus West Ham United now, folks, I'm expecting this one to be keenly contested, to be honest with you. Brighton, they have been having a really good season so far, but West Ham seems to be finding their way back somewhat, and so therefore it's not going to be easy for West Ham. Brighton, they're coming off a rest, some rest. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for them. But they did not play last week because they were scheduled to play either Manchester United or Newcastle, and those guys were scheduled to play the FA Cup final, so they didn't play. So, anyways, for Brighton versus West Ham, I'm going to go here and I'm going to take Brighton to win. Brighton being at home, I'm expecting them to handle business, but I do expect West Ham to score on them. And in terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying this should be a 2-1 victory for Brighton over West Ham. And in terms of a not double chance, in terms of the handicap system, we're going to go ahead and take a draw here, basis being Brighton winning by a goal. Alright, so recap for Brighton versus West Ham United. I'm expecting Brighton to win this one at $1.77. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of double chance, I go with either team to win and both to score. And in terms of my correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying Brighton should have a 2-1 victory here over West Ham. And in terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw here. The basis being my predicted scoreline, Brighton winning by a goal. That is right. So let's move right along into our next game, and our next game here now, folks, will be Chelsea versus Leeds United. And if Chelsea ever needed a victory, then they need it now. I'm not sure if they continue getting results like what they have been getting for the past 8 games or so. I don't think Graham Potter is going to stay there until the end of the season. I don't think so, but I think as a matter of fact, well, let's not get into it. But Chelsea versus Leeds United, I'm expecting here this one to be closely contested, and I do believe that Chelsea could find a victory here. So I'm going to go with Chelsea to win. Chelsea being at home, I'm going to go with them to win here. They have the players to do it. They should be able to do it. So Chelsea to win. Both teams are not to score. Yes, both teams not to score, folks. And also in terms of a double chance, I go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Chelsea wins this one 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Chelsea here now, folks, to win this one by a goal. Yes, so I'm making some bold predictions here, you'd say, based on Chelsea's current form and what they have been feeling to the Chelsea. They can't seem to find the back of the net. They have players, they have creative players, they have goal scorers, but nobody can find the back of the net. Very sad for Chelsea and very sad for Chelsea fans. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that, so let's just straight back to the predictions. Chelsea versus Leeds United. I'm expecting Chelsea to win this one at $1.60. I'm expecting both teams not to score. Double chance, I'd say either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Chelsea wins this one 2-0 over Leeds, and that's $7.50. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Chelsea to win by a goal here, and that's $2.70. Alright. So now let's move on over to our next game, and our next game here will be Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Tottenham Hotspurs. And for Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Tottenham Hotspurs, I'm expecting this one to be very interesting. Wolverhampton Wanderers usually not an easy team to beat at home, and so therefore Spurs will have to be very careful because they have the tendency of conceding first. They tend to do not as well against the lesser teams, and so therefore they're going to have to be very careful. Mind the last 5 have Spurs winning 4 of the last 5, but it's not going to be easy, right? But for this game, Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Spurs, Wolverhampton Wanderers are having more than one game for this year game week. That might work in Spurs' favor, but I'm going to go with a draw here for this game, and I'm going to say both teams to score. In terms of double chance, I'd go with a draw and under 4.5 goals. Alright. In terms of Park scoreline prediction, now I'm going to say we should have a 2-all draw here. And in terms of another bet that you could take, I go with Wolverhampton Wanderers to win or draw and over 2.5 over 1.5, right? So recap now here, folks, for Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Tottenham Hotspurs. I'm expecting this game to end in a draw, $3.25. In terms of predicted, in terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying we should have both teams scoring here. I'm also, in terms of a double chance, I go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total the game. In terms of correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 2-all draw here, and that's $13 in terms of the odds. If you want to do another double chance bet, you could go with either Wolverhampton Wanderers to win or a draw and over 1.5 goals in total for this game. Alright, and that's $2.30. Alright, so those are my predictions for Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Tottenham Hotspurs, and then we're going to move on to Southampton versus Leeds. Southampton versus Leicester City, rather. Alright, my humblest apologies. So now for Southampton versus Leicester City, this one is going to be very interesting too, because Southampton, they're on the hunt, and they need to be on the hunt because otherwise they are going to find themselves playing in the championship this season, and I'm assuming they don't want that. Alright, so Leicester, this is a game where you have two very unpredictable teams. You don't know which of these teams are going to win this game, to be honest with you. The honest truth, you don't know who is going to win this game, right? So for Leicester City versus Southampton United, I'm going to say here, this one is anybody's game. It's anybody's game. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of double chance, I go with either team to win and both to score, yeah? In terms of predicted scoreline now, and this is where I'm going to have to split hairs. And so therefore, but it's very hard to split hairs, folks. I'm telling the truth, it's very hard to split hairs here. And but I'm going to take 3 goals, and I'm going to say Southampton wins by the odd goal in 3. It could easily be the other way around, but as I say, it's anybody's game. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw basis being Southampton winning by a goal. Alright, so as we can see here, I'm going to go here with my recap for Southampton versus Leeds United. Why do I continue to say Leeds? Leicester City. Alright, so we have Southampton winning at $2.60, and we have both teams scoring. In terms of a double chance, I go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 victory for Southampton, I do believe, and that's $10 in terms of the odds. In terms of the handicap system, we're going to go ahead and take a draw here, basis being Southampton winning by a goal. Alright, so those are my predictions for Southampton versus Leicester City. And now we're going to move on to our next game, which is Nottingham Forest versus Everton United. For Nottingham Forest versus Everton United, I'm expecting this game to end in a draw, and I'd say both teams to score. Everton have to be very careful though. Nottingham Forest could pop up on them. Nottingham Forest in a way better position than Everton is, but they can't afford to lose any points either. So I'd say a draw, both teams to score. In terms of predicted scoreline, I say we should have a 1-all draw here. And in terms of double chance, I'd go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total. Alright, so recap now for Nottingham Forest versus Everton. I'm expecting a draw here at $2.90. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. And in terms of correct scoreline, I'm saying we should have a 1-all draw here between Nottingham Forest and Everton United. And that's $6. In terms of another double chance that you can take here, I'd go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total for the game, and that's $3. Alright, if that should happen. Alright, so those are my predictions for Nottingham Forest versus Everton. And now we're going to move on to our next game, and our next game will be Liverpool versus Manchester United, the battle of the Reds. Alright, and so therefore the Red Devils versus the Reds, and so therefore this one is going to be at Anfield, and it should be an interesting one. Yeah, the last 5 games, Liverpool have won 3, Manchester United won 2. Team in a better form, obviously Manchester United. This game is going to be a very interesting one, to be honest. Interesting in the sense that Liverpool, their backs are against the walls, quote unquote, against the wall, and so therefore they're expected to react, and they're expected to start playing better. And so therefore, thankfully for Jurgen Klopp, he's getting back some of his players, and so therefore I think Darwin Núñez as well as Luis Diaz are the two main players that he is missing right now. Yeah. But anyways, let's just get into the predictions. And for Liverpool versus Manchester United, I'm going to say here, I'm going to take Manchester United to level up things, and so therefore, in the last 6 games, I'm going to say it's going to be 3 apiece. So Manchester United to win this one. Both teams to score. In terms of double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Manchester United to win this one by the odd goal in 3. Otherwise, I think it's going to end in a draw, to be honest with you. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a draw here, basis being Manchester United winning by a goal. Alright, so recap for Liverpool versus Manchester United. I'm saying here Manchester United to win this game at $2.70. Both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Manchester United over Liverpool, and that's $10. Alright, in terms of the odds, on the handicap system now, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw, basis being Manchester United winning by a goal. Alright, and that's $4.75. And now for our next game, which is the final game of this here game week, I'm going to go with this is our game. I've gone too far. Yes, here is our game here on Monday, and this is our final game for this year game week, and this is Brentford versus Fulham United. And for Brentford versus Fulham United, these guys, they have to be very mindful. They have to be on the lookout, because Fulham is a tricky team, and Fulham could pop up on you, and you know what's about to happen at Fulham. Alright, very tricky team, very tricky team. You have to be very careful. Alright, and so therefore, for Brentford versus Fulham, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Fulham to win this one. Both teams to score. In terms of double chance, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Fulham wins this one 2-1. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw, basis being Fulham winning by a goal. Alright, so recapping predictions now, folks, for Brentford versus Fulham. I'm expecting Fulham to win this game at $3.40. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of double chance, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying 2-1 victory here for Fulham over Brentford. That's $12 in terms of the odds. And also on the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw here, and the basis that Fulham winning this game by a goal. Alright, and that's $5 if that should happen in terms of the odds. Alright, so those are my predictions for Fulham versus Brentford, and that's how the cookie crumbles for this here week of the English Premier League betting tips and predictions. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you took your notes as well. Remember to share the video with your friends, and also click like and subscribe to the channel, and also click the notification bell. Please spread the word about the channel so that we can grow here, and so therefore I thank you for your support, and I thank you for your time as well. Alright, thank you for joining me. Great luck betting, and have a profitable weekend. Thank you.